Hello knitters, Barbara Benson here. I'm an independent knitwear designer who also likes to make videos here on my YouTube channel, Watch Barbara Knit. This video is one of a special series of 5 videos where I am introducing you to all of the new patterns in my new book, Big Yarn Beautiful Lace Knits. The concept behind this book is that it is all knitted lace patterns, but it's all worked up in bulky or super bulky yarn. So you have big, bold graphic effects that you can knit up super fast. And frankly, I hope it's as fun for you as it was for me. Now, I want to remind you to check in the description notes below the video, and there you will find links to the individual Ravelry pattern pages, and you will see more photographs there and get more details. All of the photographs in the book were taken by Gail Zucker. She's an amazing knitwear photographer, and I'm so glad that she worked on my book. Also in the description below, you will find a link to the Amazon page should you not have a local yarn store where you can get the book. As always, I encourage you to check with your local yarn store and see if they have it, or ask them to carry it, because we need to support those members of our fiber community. I love going into stores and squishing yarn. Now, the format of these videos, this one is the Cowls video. I'm going to go through 4 patterns, but first what we're going to do is have essentially the Cliff Notes version, where you're going to see the text with the specifications for it, and it's going to run through some of those beautiful Gail Zucker photographs so you can just see stills of them. And if that's all the time you have, you will have seen them, but then if you continue watching, you will see me show off and play with and style each one of the items, and you can see them in action. So let's go to the Cliff Notes, and I hope you stick around to play with me a little bit. There are so many different kinds of cowls that you can knit that I don't think I'll ever get bored designing them. Just like shawls, I'm not going to get bored with them. The first one I decided I want to do what they consider an infinity scarf, which means it's a really long cowl that frankly half the time is more decorative than necessarily being warm. And I also couldn't resist including a mosaic lace piece in the book. I had to do 1-2 color with a little bit of mosaic and lace. I kept it very simple so you can see what the motif looks like. Let me hold it up. So you've got, it's essentially, I was like, hey, let's color work a feather and fan. So you've got your increases here and then your decreases here, but you can see how the decreases and using the slip stitch color work makes those decreases and makes the stripes move in at an angle, which I think I really like the effect. I decided to make it narrow because a couple reasons. A, I did want it to be on the decorative less than the warm side, and also I wanted to stick to using just 1 skein of each color, even though I could work with this yarn forever. This is Crater Lake from Stitch Sprouts, and it is just a super soft, bulky yarn, but you can see it's super long. But let's pull it back, right? So we've got, see how it's got these cool little loopy guys? And then if I reach back and make myself a twist, I can bring it forward and you can double loop it like this. And you've got all these, I'd have to fiddle with it a bit, but you can get it to lay really cool and have all these wavies. And that's cool, but the way I really like to wear this one is to leave it flat like this, and then pull it around and pull the one through. So there, how cool is that? You've got this kind of wiggly, let me step backwards. See, and it hangs down, it's got this little loop here. I can maybe shift it off to one side and it looks, you've got, it's, I don't know, it's just, I think it's super fun. It's wiggly and fun and soft and around your neck. I gave this one a super weird name. It's called Coefficient of Modulation, which what it was is I thought it looked like, you know, when you look at like radio or light waves and it goes up and down. And so I looked up all those mathematical terms and found coefficient of modulation, which is some like math thing that refers to like the distance from like something to, I don't even pretend to understand it, but it sounds super cool. And I wanted to give it a unique name because I think it's a really unique piece and it's got all these lovely loopy things. Now blocking on this one, you got to take a little time. You got to block it. The way I blocked it was blocking it flat and making sure I pinned all the ups and down, up and down. Now, if you wanted to use more yarn, you could definitely make this considerably taller, thicker. And if you wanted it to be close to your neck, you could do fewer repeats and have it just little. I mean, this one's really super flexible. So this is Coefficient of Modulation in 2 colors of Crater Lake from Stitch Sprouts. The next cowl I'm going to show you is pretty much the exact opposite of that one. This is one of those cowls that sits really close to the neck, and you're going to love that with this because this is Plymouth Yarn's Baby Alpaca Grande. So it's 100% baby alpaca in a big old chunky needle. Let me see, size 15. So this is one that goes super fast and it's so soft. It's got fun effects. So to make the lace really pop out of this fuzzy yarn, because that is an issue. When you get into fuzzy yarn, you start losing detail because of what the fuzz brings. This is double yarn overs here, and then this is a fake cable cinch stitch, which I really like using, and you should look at my patterns. I've used it several times. It's fun, and it's just soft, and I believe this only uses 1 skein. Yes, and this is Cinches and Ladders is what I called it, because these are little cinch stitches, and those I thought looked like ladders, and I also thought it was a play on like Snakes and Ladders, the kids game. This is one of those ones that is gonna keep you warm. Oh my gosh, I'm already overwarm. But look, it's fun and it folds down and it's gonna keep you warm and it's fuzzy and it's soft. Oh my gosh, baby alpaca. But the holes make it and give it drape and make it collapse more and allow you to like wear it. That's I think what the lace brings to this project. So that is Cinches and Ladders. And that probably, my hair, after the hat one, it's already a hot mess. Going in, again, a completely different direction. What I said about cowls, this one is in 100% cotton from Knit Picks. This is their billow, which is actually a thick, thin yarn, which is unusual. I mean, a lot of times the patterning in lace depends on evenness. So thick, thin does some crazy things, but I thought it worked. It gave this, I thought, a kind of rustic effect, and it's also got these huge double yarn overs, which work so awesomely in the bulky lace. And this is a cowlette. It is worked entirely in the round, and essentially what you have is it has the same shaping as a top-down triangle in that It's got the increases here, but you just cast it on the round and knit it, but it builds out from that center point. And I really amuse myself naming this one. This one is called Drunk Spider. Now this is post blocking, so it looks much neater, but because it was cotton and because it was thick thin, and when I was knitting, you know how lace before you block it does look a hot mess? The thick thin made it look even more hot and messy. So I thought it looked like a drunk spider had woven this. So I called it Drunk Spider. But I thought I really like it. It's nice, it's light, it's cotton, and you know, nice and light, not something you normally talk about with bulky yarns. Let me hold it still for a minute so y'all can see what the pattern really looks like. And this is, I think, one of those pieces that's almost like jewelry. You could wear it in the summer. Let me hold it. I blocked it like this. I found was the easiest way to block it with the points, and that's how you get your little loopy-doos. Here, let me show you the loopy-doos. I think that's the technical term. You've got these places where you have these big holes. Again, that's in Knit Picks Billow. What size needles is that one on? Boo, 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 boo. Size 11. And now this might be one of the strangest things I've designed, but I love it. I named this one Avasarala, and it is straight up named after my favorite character in the science fiction show, The Expanse. She is the undersecretary and she kicks butt. And she's just like, you know, science fiction is a little weird and they wear some strange things, and I wanted to go with that. So this is a cowl, but the construction is unusual. So I put it on like this. It looks sort of like a bib. I know, I'm just doing this so you can see it. So you start at the bottom, and this is the full width, and you knit one repeat. You can see, and you've got this lace. I love this lace on either side, and it's separated by seed stitch with, I think this is Malabrigo Chunky, and I think it just looks, look at the texture on that. I think it looks amazing in the seed stitch. And I use this real linear lace, so it's fairly simple lace, but it's a lot. So this is one of the ones that's chart only. Once you've worked this first repeat, you transfer one leg, I call these legs, one leg goes onto waste yarn, and you continue with the other leg. And the other leg you are simply repeating, and let me hold it up. So you repeat this multiple times, you see, and it's got this half diamond shape coming in. And then once you finish that, the number of times I tell you to, you then pick up the waste yarn and you do it for the other leg, but it's reflected, so the lace is on the other side. Then what you end up with is two legs. So you can see, here's the first one, and you can count the number of repeats you did by the number of little triangles you did. So then you have 1, 2, 3 full repeats, and you do, wait a minute, what did I do here? Okay, that's the bottom. 1, 2, 3. Yes, so you do 3 full repeats, but one of them and then you only do a half repeat. So you've got this half repeat here and this half repeat here, so that when you seam them together, it comes together like that. Isn't that cool? And so what you've got is this big giant loop. So it's a cowl with a little bit of attitude. So you center this here, and you pull this out, and then you loop it, and you fiddle. But essentially what you get is a cowl, one of these big heavy double wrap cowls, but that has this little flappy guy on it. And there's enough here that if you really wanted to, if you were really cold, Let me get it. Yeah. You could wrap it around one more time. See? And then you've got this, which I think it looks really cool. Isn't that interesting? Of course, I'm gonna die of heat stroke. And you don't have to wear it that tight. You can do a double wrap where one of them, and since it's seed stitch is pretty much reversible, you could do a double wrap where one of them was long and one of them was short. Here, let me get it. I have made a mess. See, if you're not doing this on video, it's nowhere near as stressful. Let me flatten it back out. Okay, we got it. We got it. Oh, flap's gonna end up on the other side now. So here. So there's that, right? Reach behind me. If you want to make sure the twisted part is behind you, you got to do it behind you. It's reversible. So there. If I want the lace down, I'm going to flip it over like that. There we go. You know, when you do it in the camera, it's backwards. So there. It's really, I think it's really interesting, and it gives a different look. It's a little different than a normal cowl, and you could always play with this, especially if you're going to be super cold. You could shift this so it was in the front, like my original bib action that we had going on, and flip it over so that you could tuck this part in your jacket and make sure you're never ever going to be cold. You know what? You just play with it. I'm looking forward to seeing the different ways all y'all end up wearing this piece. It's just different, and I thought it was interesting. And Avasarala, one of the things is she has amazing fashion sense, and I'm pretty sure she would rock this just like crazy. So again, Malabrigo Chunky. There you go. I hope you like those cowls. Cowls are one of my favorite things to knit, and I know I got a little crazy there. If you like this video, please click the like button, and if you would like to be notified whenever I upload a new video, please subscribe to my channel and select notifications. Thank you so much.